It seems like Elon Musk has been waging war against the Russians since the invasion of Ukraine. First, he helped Ukraine with more than 10,000 Starlink terminals to stay connected with its drones during the response to the Russian offensive. This didn't go over well with the Russians, however. Now Elon Musk has gone a step further and destroyed Russia's best rocket engine. This can be a game changer for the United States in its efforts to contain Russia and also establish the US dominance in space. In this video, we will explain to you exactly how Elon Musk is fighting the Russians and how he has managed to destroy Russia's best rocket. SpaceX started sending Starlink satellite kits to Ukraine shortly after the Russian invasion. These satellites have helped Ukraine's aerial reconnaissance forces to connect directly to drones that have destroyed several Russian tanks and other important military vehicles, including its biggest warship, Moskva. The sinking of Moskva angered the Russians as it was their most potent weapon of defense in the Black Sea. After the serious blow, Russian space chief Dmitry Rogozin directly called out Elon Musk, saying that Elon was involved in supplying Ukraine with military communication equipment and that he will be held accountable like an adult. While Elon Musk did acknowledge that this was a threat, he refuses to back down and has all the more reason to respond to Russia's threats through SpaceX. Rogozin didn't just threaten Elon, he also expressed his displeasure of the US sanctions on Russia and has since responded to the sanctions by stopping rocket engine sales to the US. That is a big deal because space exploration is one where uninterrupted cooperation has always existed between the United States and Russia. And after George Bush announced the retirement of NASA's aging space shuttle program, the US had been completely dependent on Russian rockets for space travel. Knowing this, Dmitry Rogozin, head of the state space agency Roscosmos, said Russia can't supply the United States with its world's best rocket engines. He told the press that the US can fly on something else, their broomsticks. The world's best rocket engine that Dmitry Rogozin referenced is the RD-180. He stated that Russia has delivered 122 RD-180 engines to the US since the 1990s, of which 98 have already been used. Let's talk about RD-180 in a bit, which was the product of the Cold War-era space race between the US and the Soviet Union. Its parent engine, the RD-170, was designed by Valentin Glushko, a Ukrainian who ended up heading the Soviet space program after the Soviets lost to the US in the race to the moon. The RD-170 was known to be the most powerful liquid propellant engine in the world. The RD-170 and the RD-180 would take the Soviet-made Buran space shuttle into orbit. Not just that, the rocket engines were in great demand globally, and during the 90s, the US started importing the RD-180s to use in the famous Atlas III and Atlas V spacecrafts. Fast forward to 2014, and the Russian annexation of Crimea turned the relationship between the two countries sour yet again. The dependence on Russian rocket engines was called into question, and NASA was tasked with building a similar engine by 2017. However, even after spending $1 billion in the next 5 years, they could not produce satisfactory results and announced that it would still take a few more years to build a rocket engine at the RD-180 level. But once again, Elon Musk and SpaceX have saved the day. After helping Ukraine sustain its communication engines, Elon is now on a mission to destroy the best Russian rocket engine. Musk has made great progress in satellite and space programs with SpaceX and has his eyes set on the colonization of Mars. For that purpose, SpaceX is building the Starship, a rocket that will go to Mars with the help of its powerful engine called the Raptor. While Mars exploration is a prospect for the future, for now the Raptor can be a perfect substitute to Russia's RD-180. In fact, the recent tests of the Raptor 2 show that it absolutely crushes the RD-180 in most categories. This is probably why Elon found a bit of humor in Rogozin's broomstick analogy. Just hours after the comments, SpaceX launched 47 of its own Starlink satellites into orbit using the Falcon 9 rocket. Elon responded to the video with a screenshot of Rogozin's comments and the caption, "American broomsticks." Elon clearly sent a message that the US had an alternative to the Russian engines. More recently, Elon posted another photo on his Twitter page showing more than a dozen Raptor 2 rocket engines. But how does the Raptor 2 destroy the RD-180? Let's start with the specifications of the two rocket engines. The major reason that RD-180 has remained the runaway leader for rocket engines for more than 3 decades is because of its combustion chamber pressure, which reached 267 bars, more than any other rocket engine. However, the Raptor has already breached that mark in 2019 when it reached 268.9 bars. By the end of 2021, Musk stated that the Raptor had gone one better and was regularly achieving chamber pressure upwards of 300 bars. Then there's the size difference. More than 2 Raptor 2 engines can fit inside an RD-180, meaning that they can create much higher thrust. The thrust-to-weight ratio at sea level for the Raptor is around 2.5 times better than the RD-180. Arguably, the biggest technical advantage that the Raptor 2 has is that it uses methane as fuel instead of the kerosene and liquid oxygen combination used by the RD-180. Kerosene can cause carbon deposits, meaning that it isn't reusable. Methane, on the other hand, is much lighter. burns much cleaner, and gives the Raptor 2 a higher specific impulse, making it reusable. On top of that, it is much easier to synthesize methane on Mars, which is where the Raptor actually plans to go. In addition to all these advantages, the Raptor also absolutely crushes the RD-180 on the financial front. At the moment, a Raptor 2 engine costs around $1 million to build, which is 9 to 10 times lower than the RD-180. According to Musk, these costs will go down even further, dropping as low as $250,000 when serial production begins using 3D printing of its parts. And even that isn't too far away, as it will happen by the end of this year. At the moment, SpaceX is producing 5 to 7 Raptor 2 engines every week, but the company is expected to pick up pace and produce close to 500 engines by the end of the year. Knowing that the US has only got 122 RD-80s from Russia in 3 decades, the pace of production is much higher for the Raptor. Elon Musk has also tweeted that SpaceX already has 39 flight-worthy engines, and after integrating them all in the month of April, the company is looking to launch its first orbital test in May. So it seems that the Russian decision to not sell its rocket engines to the US has in fact benefited the country. It has accelerated the production of a much better engine in Raptor 2 and will reduce the US dependence on Russian rocket engines. Russia's RD-180 is undoubtedly a great engine. Even Elon Musk admitted that. It is one of the most reliable rocket engines ever designed and has completed more than 100 successful launches without failure. However, Elon Musk and SpaceX have clear technological advantages, and this is why Raptor 2 already seems like the better engine, and it will only get better with time. Thanks for watching.